Okay, hello to all my friends at home. Today in math, we're going to be working on lesson 12, fluency. And our fluency today is going to consist of skip counting by eights. So we'll sing our song and practice a few, and then you'll do a pattern sheet to do your practice your eights. Remember, when you do the pattern sheet, you want to go across the rows. Okay, if you go across the rows, you'll get the patterns in the way they want you to practice them, much like you'd get on extra math where they repeat the facts over and over again. Okay, we're going to give you 2 minutes to do that. At the end of 2 minutes, we want you to stop and circle your last problem. And then we would like you to go back and complete the sheet before you submit it to your teacher. Why do we want you to do that? Because we want you to get as much practice with your times eights as possible. Okay, then our other fluency activity today is called Take from 10. Now, if you remember last week, we did some mental math. Mrs. Miller did it with you in her video, and we were adding mentally. So we were adding sevens and we were adding, I think, sixes. And so we would have something like 35 plus 7, and you would decompose the 7 into 5 and 2, and then add that mentally. And you want to show that work when you're doing that. So I'm going to model for you how to do that so you know exactly how to complete that part of the fluency. All right, so right now I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to do some skip counting. Okay, skip counting by eights. All right, and hopefully you remember how to the song for the eights. Remember, it goes This Old Man. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm going to write the numbers as we sing, and I apologize for my singing in advance. All right, here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48, 56, and 64, 72, and 80. And those are your eights. And that's one way you can memorize them, is by singing the song to, or singing them to This Old Man. All right, so let's try that one more time together. And the numbers are now up on the screen for you to see. And so it'll be a little bit easier, and just try your best to sing it to that tune. Here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48, 56, and 64, 72, and 80. All right, now, so let's say we're doing a pattern sheet and we have 8 times 6. All right, now you want to count 8 6 times. So 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48. So your answer would be 48. Using your fingers helps you keep track. All right, let's say we have 8 times 8. How many 8s will we count this time? If you said 8 8s, you are correct. So let's use our fingers again and sing to the song. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48, 56, and 64. Here we go. I got my 8 fingers up. So 8 times 8 is 64. You get the idea. Let's try another one. Let's do 8 times 7. Okay. 8 times 7. Here we go. We're going to count how many 8s? That's right. We're going to count 7 8s. So 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48, 56. There's our 7 8s. And so we would get 56 for that one. Okay. And then let's do one more. Let's do 8 times 9. Okay. And actually this week, we're going to be learning a lot of tricks for the 9s. People think 9s must be the hardest fact to memorize, but there are so many tricks, and I'm sure you're going to find one that you like to use. So that's good news. So we'll do 8 times 9, and we're going to count 9 8s. So we can use our fingers and skip count. Here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40, 48, 56, and 64, 72. There's my 9 8s, so my answer is 72. All right. So one thing you could do, though, and I know I have one student who already does this, they could say, instead of 9 8s, let's do 10 8s. And 10 8s is easy. That's 80. And then you really only want 9 8s. So what do? You subtract 8. So you have 9 8s, and 80 minus 8 is 72. So there you go. That's one of the tricks for the 9s right there. Okay, so when we're done here, I would like you to set your timer and go ahead and do the pattern sheet. Remember to work across rows. You get 2 minutes. That's in the directions. When you're done, circle your last problem so your teacher has an idea of how many of you were able to complete in that 2 minutes. And then go ahead and finish the sheet. Why? Because it gives you really good practice. Okay, now I am going to do the take from 10 thing next. So let me see. I got it. Hopefully I can get my sharing back. Oh man, I hope I can get that back. Let's see. You don't know if I'm going to be able to get my screen back. Man, this is frustrating for me. I'm going to bring it up and just hope once I bring it up, I can get it to you. Sorry, boys and girls, this is not working the way I wanted it to. Under more, there is no sharing there. Okay, share screen, here we go. Share screen. This is what I want. Here we go. Sorry about that, boys and girls. All right, here we go. So here's your pattern sheet. You know what to do there. Set the timer for 2 minutes. Make sure you are working across the rows. Really important that you do that, okay? Now, the next activity is called Take from 10. So you have this on your template. We're going to do a couple together, and then I'm going to have you do the rest independently. All right, and hopefully I can do annotating here. Here we go. So it says take from 10. So I'm going to do the first one with you. We have 20 minus 2. Well, it says take from 10. So how do I get 10? I'm going to decompose 20 into 10 and 10, right? Because 10 plus 10 makes 20. And that's how we decompose. And now I want to take from 10. And what do I want to take from 10? I want to take this 2 from 10. So if I take 2 from 10, I'm left with 8. Now, instead of 10 and 10 in my number bod, I've got 10 and 8. So my answer for 20 minus 2 is 18. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's try it again. So now we're going to decompose 30. The activity is take from 10. So I want to make sure I have a 10. I'm going to put my 10 on the right here. And then what do I add to 10 to make 30? I add 20. So you can see I've decomposed 30 into 20 and 10 because I want to take from 10. What do I want to take from 10? I want to take this 3 right here from 10. So 10 minus 3 is, you said 7, you're right. And remember, the reason we're taking from 10 is because most of us are pretty good with our 10 facts, whether they're addition or subtraction. And now what do I have left here? I no longer have 20 and 10, I have 20 and 7. So 30 minus 3 ends up being 27. Okay, let's do another one. 40 minus 4. So I'm going to decompose 40. Remember, we want to take from 10. So if you said, let's decompose 40 into 30 and 10, you are absolutely right. What am I going to take from 10? I got to take this 4 from 10. So 10 minus 4, I'm going to cross the 10 out. What am I left with? I'm left with 6. So now instead of 30 and 10, I've got 30 and 6. And my answer for 40 minus 4 is 36. Okay. Let's do 50 minus 5 next. So I want you to think about what you're going to decompose 50 into if you want to practice taking from 10. Okay, hopefully you said 40 and 10. If you did, you are correct because now I've got a 10 here. And remember, boys and girls, I know on the Fluency from last week, a lot of you weren't quite sure about it, but rewatch the video and make sure you're showing this work, okay? That because this is the reason we're practicing it is so we can decompose these numbers and do the mental math. So I've got 40 and 10 here. What am I taking from 10? I'm taking 5 from 10. What does that leave? If I take 5 from 10, it leaves 5. Now I've got 40 and 5, which is 45. Okay, I'm going to clear that and let's go down to the bottom. I'm going to let you do 60 minus 6, 70 minus 7, 80 minus 8, and 90 minus 9 on your own. But I want to come down to this bottom one, 100 minus 10. Okay. Now I can decompose 100 into 2 numbers. Remember, I want to make a 10, so I can decompose it into 90 and 10. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to take from 10. What do I have to take from 10? I have to take 10 from 10. So 10 from 10 leaves us with 0. And 90 plus 0 is 90. So what's 100 minus 10? 100 minus 10 is 90. Now you probably knew that one and could do that mentally on your own already. Okay, so that's our fluency for today, boys and girls. Your pattern sheet and then this activity here. Remember, you can toggle back and forth between the video and your template on Seesaw to see how Mrs. Reed has modeled for you to do the skill. These steps in here are absolutely necessary. So you do have to show how you have decomposed these numbers. That is really important. It's not an option. So you have to show those the way you decompose the numbers. Okay. And if you really still don't understand it, then send a note to your teacher and let your teacher know. All right. Have a great day, boys and girls. And thank you so much for tuning in.